Welcome back to the channel. So today we have LoopDot from LoopGear. So this is their latest flashlight, is just now being released on Kickstarter. And they definitely have made something really unique here. I'd have to call this probably the strangest flashlight of 2025. They come up with some things here that I've not seen on a flashlight before. And so this almost needs a different title. Maybe it's not even a flashlight, maybe like a pocket companion, or I don't know, something like that. Anyways, definitely really cool. Lots of things I want to show you about this. I'm going to point out the most obvious features at first. Of course, you have the flashlight here on the front, which means you would hold it like this. Then also, obviously, you have this dial here, which is, I'll tell you more about that here in just a second. And you have this display. Now, the display is really cool. It's not an OLED display like you've seen before on different flashlights. This actually is a 52 pixel display. And so you see the little blocks there. And so as you change settings and things, of course, that changes. And there's a whole lot more I want to tell you about that here in just a bit. But first of all, we'll start about the actual frame of it. So it's got an aluminum body, super lightweight, just 40 grams. And so super small, fits, easy would fit in any pocket, any pouch, any bag. It does come with a case. You can put this in. I'll tell you a bit more about that here in just a second as well. And that, of course, also has a lanyard. But anyways, let's jump into the light itself. This actually has two different settings. If you look close to the LED, you can see that. On the inside, you have that one LED here, and that's going to be your spotlight. And then the ring around it, that's going to be the floodlight. And so when you turn this on, let me go ahead and turn this off. You push the button on the top to turn it on. It's going to show you the battery status at first. And then here you'll see this is the floodlight. So the one that looks almost like a plug-in. You have the two blocks going up. That's the spotlight. So you click it, and it starts on the 0.1 lumen. So it's a true moonlight. I mean, super, super dim light there. But we'll go ahead and use this dial. You can rotate this, and it's dimless. I'm sorry, stepless. And then that way you can adjust however bright you want it to be. And then a double click, it's going to take you to the turbo. And so that's the spotlight. It has 400 lumens is the max output. And so pretty good for a tiny flashlight like this. And then we'll go into a changeover by rotating the dial. Then this is the floodlight. Again, you can see just by kind of the way it spreads out right there. So we'll turn this on. And again, it's on the 0.1 lumens. And so dim, you can't hardly even tell that it's on. Rotate this and you see it starts to get brighter. I'm going to point this away from the camera. Then same thing, a double click. It's going to take you to the turbo, the max output here. And so that is 210 lumens. So not as bright as the spotlight. You'll notice this is a lot warmer light though, compared to the spotlight. But then again, it's more the floodlight. That's why you're not going to have as many lumens on it. So definitely really cool. Let's go outside right now. I'll show you that what it looks like in the dark. Kind of hard to tell right here with the room being illuminated. So let's go outside, test that real quick, and we'll come back in. All right, so we're going to start with the spotlight here. Jump right to the turbo. So you can see really bright there. Say it has up to like a 100-meter throw, which looks really good. All right, let's hop over to the floodlight. All right, same thing, go right to the turbo. So also nice and bright. Really good for the floodlight as well. Doesn't throw nearly as far, but still, I mean, does a great job of illuminating. All right, so definitely very impressive for such a small little flashlight. Literally, this is just 40 grams. And so super lightweight. I mean, definitely really cool. All right, so moving on from there to the things that are really unique about the flashlight, right? So we're going to turn this back on. So again, you have your different light settings. And let's hop over this setting real quick over to here. Now, this is the haptic feedback setting. Click the button here. And these numbers are actually the settings. And you probably can't hear that on the mic, but you get haptic feedback from the dial, like a click. Then you also get a vibration from the flashlight itself. And so this right here is going to adjust that haptic feedback. And so if you turn that all the way down, you're not going to have any vibration from the flashlight whenever you adjust it. You only have clicks from the dial. So turning this up, of course, gives you that haptic feedback. And if you like, I don't know, like feeling a vibration, like whenever you're changing your settings or whatever else, that's a great feature to have. And I love that you're able to adjust the both the strength of it, or if you want, you can turn it off. So really cool. So about the user interface, anytime you're in any setting, a double click on the top button here will take you back to the previous, if I can call it, setting, right? So that right there was the haptic feedback. Let's hop back over to this. This one is your different modes. We're going to be using this pixel display here. And so go through these real quick. This one is really interesting. It's kind of like water. And so basically, as you tilt the flashlight, you can see those pixels tilt as well. And so that's definitely interesting. I don't know of any particular use for that one for me. And then this one has a bunch of different animations here that you can do. For example, this one is kind of like the Matrix. You can see you got just the green thing running down. And that's literally all that it does. All right, we'll go back. And then there's a bunch of different settings here. So depending on what you want, you know, if you just want, again, this is kind of like a screensaver thing, right? Where you're just gonna have a bunch of different animations. And let's not go through all of these, but you have like flame, there's hearts, different things like that, okay? So let's go back. All right, next one. This one here's what they're calling wooden fish, if I remember correctly. And it's literally you twist the dial and these little squares fill up. And then right now you see it's at 0.7. So once these all fill up, you'll be at 0.8. And that's it. It's kind of like a click counter. You can't reset it. I was told if you like click this like, I don't remember how many times, like 11,700 times, there's some special thing that will show up on the display. I don't know. I'm not sure that I want to sit here and click this 11,000 times. But anyways, that's kind of what that is. So I guess maybe if you're bored, let's go back into that real quick. So if you're bored and you just want to kind of feel the haptic feedback, right? You can rotate this either way and it fills up these little dots. And you have a counter there to see how many times you fill up the entire screen. So, I mean, if you're super bored, sure thing, go for that, right? All right, next one. This is cool. This is something, like I said, I've never seen on a flashlight before. Again, this can't even be a flashlight. It's like a pocket companion. So this is rock, paper, scissors. You can play with somebody else or with yourself, of course. And so basically you click this and you shake it. Right, then you wait. So right now is when you would be choosing what you wanted, right? And so when it blinks, so that right there is paper, right? So you shake it again, and you wait. Once it blinks, okay, that is rock, right? And so, I mean, how cool is it to be like at a party or whatever, wherever you are, you're like, hey, you want to play rock, paper, scissors with my flashlight? It's just so absurd, right? It's cool, something I've never seen before. I showed this to my my niece and my nephew, and they were just absolutely thrilled with it, right? And so a really cool feature here. Again, nobody's doing this, right? Next up is dice. All right, so let's say you're playing a board game or I don't know, whatever else other reason you'd need dice for. So you click this, same thing, you shake it. You can shake it as long as you want, you know, kind of just keep mixing the dice. You just wait. And then once it flashes, so that's a 4, right? And so if you're playing a board game, you don't have dice or whatever else, and you do have your little flashlight, you have your dice on it. I mean, just super cool, really brilliant. I mean, is it something you need? No, it's definitely not something you need. You know, in the world, survival situation, you don't need dice in your pocket, maybe. I mean, I don't know what kind of survival situation that would be. But anyways, let's back out of that. That's cool, having the dice there. The next one, this is really funny too. This is basically yes and no. And so let's say, you know, hey, should you subscribe? And then we shake this and it gets away from me. And it says, yes, you should definitely subscribe, right? Let's do it one more time because I lost it. All right, so you see there, you twist it. It looks almost like a coin, you know, red and blue, but yeah, it's still a yes. So anyways, it's basically, it's yes and no is the only 2 options you have there. And so once again, just really interesting. All right, then this one's a clock. Now this has a bit more maybe actual functionality to it in that you can set a timer. As you can see here, so this is 0, right? And so let's just give it, let's say 4 seconds, right? We don't want to wait too long. So those 4 dots are 4 seconds. You click this, you'll see these start to count down. All right, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's starting to vibrate quite a bit. All right, click the button so that it stops vibrating. And so you can fill this up, and then these numbers will change to 0, 1, as you see. Now, right now, the system is kind of broken because 0, 1 is not actually 60 seconds. It's actually more like 53 seconds because you have 52 pixels, and then the next click takes you to the 0, 1. But I did speak to them about that, and they do plan on fixing this in the actual version that they'll be shipping out. And so that should be taken care of. But anyways, cool, you have the timer. They also do plan on making a stopwatch. And so if you want to do this opposite way where you could start it and it actually starts counting off the seconds for you, you can do that as well. And so that's a much more practical feature, I would say, with this pixel display. And there's other things that they might be coming up with as well, just some little fixes. This is, of course, the reviewers version, which is released before they kind of work out all the bugs, right? But anyways, really cool there. All right, and that's it. Now, it might have some more modes whenever you receive your version if you do choose to order this. But anyways, definitely one of a kind flashlight here. Again, it's not even a flashlight. This needs a different name. I mean, let me know in the comments, what would you call this? I mean, just give us some ideas, right? Anyways, like I said, it does have a case. The case has a magnet here in the back, but it's actually going to be basically an accessory you have to pay for. The case it'll come with has what they call a hand strap. So I guess you can hold on to it with your fingers, maybe. I'm not sure exactly. We'll see when that comes out. You can see right here, you got space for a lanyard, like I said, so you can attach a lanyard if you wanted to do that. But this just kind of helps protects your flashlight a bit more like that. And then again, like I said, it also has the magnet on the back. And so if you wanted to attach this to a surface, you could do that. So you could hold your flashlight up, having it illuminating your space for you. But anyways, again, really cool, one of a kind. So this is on Kickstarter, like I said. And so the early bird price is $24. And so, which honestly, even if you don't need a new flashlight, this thing is just a really interesting thing, like just to have, just to show people, just like to talk about, and so I think it's definitely worth it, especially at the early bird price. I'm not exactly sure what the final MSRP is going to be. I would guess around 30%, $30 maybe. But anyways, we'll just see once this actually, this Kickstarter starts. But anyways, definitely a really good price there at the early bird deal. So if you are interested, I do have a link down below, and this is just now being released. So you should have time to go pick one up if you're interested. But let me know your thoughts about that. Like I said, this has got to be the strangest flashlight of the year, for me at least, just because it has all these different features built in right here with this pixel display, right? And so definitely really cool. If I didn't mention it, this does have a Type-C port here for charging it, and it also has 600 milliamp hour built-in battery. And so really cool flashlight. Again, let me know your thoughts about that. I agree, it is not the most practical flashlight. I mean, it's a nice flashlight in and of itself, but the rest of the features is just more just really unique, really different. Anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts about that. And thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.